See, living faith is a living friendship with God. Look at how James finishes with his example of Abraham that we skipped over in verse 23. And the scripture was fulfilled that says Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. Called a friend of God. But what's a friend? I don't mean, how do you know when someone is treating you like a friend? I mean, how do you know when you are being a friend? Now we're starting to get this idea of faith in action. How do you know when you're relating to someone as a friend? A friend is somebody you want to be with. You enjoy being with them, not because of what you're getting out of the relationship, just because you like them. You enjoy being around them. It's not like, okay, I got 2 tickets to a concert. I better find a friend so I have somebody to go with. That's not friendship. That's not what a friend is. A friend is somebody you love for who that person is. You just simply enjoy their presence. You want to be around them. See, look, here's the thing. Like, we toy around with all of these ideas of, like, I've got these obligations. I better do these religious practices and all these kinds of things. Look, Jesus did not allow himself to be brutally beaten, to be spit upon, whipped, and nailed to a cross under ridicule and shame so that you and I could just simply ascribe to, let's say, the doctrinal idea of penal substitutionary sacrifice. And most of you don't even know what that means. Good. He didn't have nails driven through his hands and feet or a crown of thorns shoved onto his head so that you and I could have some sort of cathartic experience. Oh, I feel so holy today. He came and he lived and he died to rescue, to redeem, to restore every single part of us. Not so that we could partition off certain segments and say, this is mine. I'll let you look into that occasionally here and there, maybe down the road 50 or 60 years. He came to us to have all of us, mind, heart, body, soul, and all of the expressions that brings out of us. See, living, breathing faith is loyalty to a person as a friend. Not just a cause. Ultimately, the most important outworking of our faith is Jesus' challenge to us. You want to see what kind of works we're supposed to be doing? Here's Jesus' challenge. Follow me. Let me go bury my dad first, said the questioner. No. There's no wait. There's no later. There's nothing of that. Jesus says, follow me. Like, none of the works that James is talking about should happen so that you can earn Jesus' love and affection. He's already given it to you. He died on the cross because of his great love for you. If you're doing anything to earn the affection of another person, guess what? That's poor friendship. A living faith is simply responding to Jesus' love and affection with love and affection. A love and affection that moves us to value what Jesus values. That's what it is to follow him. We don't need to complicate it. A living faith trusts in what has been done for us. Jesus met our need. The need that most of us don't even know that we have until suddenly he meets it. And so as a result, we follow him and we try to meet others' needs as well, because that's what it is to follow Jesus. Simply, not so you can get something, it's not so you can get crowns in heaven. It's simply to know that you've brought a smile to his face, that you've caused joy. That's what it is to be God's friend. The proper response is to follow him with our whole selves, not holding anything back from him. Faith is taking our life, the one given to us by Jesus, by the way, our reborn life, and giving it back to Jesus and saying, where you go, I go. What you tell me to say, I'll say. What you tell me to do, I'll do. That's living faith. James says that Abraham was called a friend of God because when Abraham lifted the dagger, God said, this is from Genesis 22, "Do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." God says, "Now I know that you truly love me with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength." And Abraham knew it too. Because you were willing to put me ahead of your only son. So here's the question for all of us listening to that. Is our life, all of our religiosity, is that just a lot of shuddering? Or is it a transformed desire for God? A desire for a friendship with God? It's possible for it to be that. Because that's what he has for you, and he's already given it to you completely. Because God the Father walked up a mountain with his son, and he sacrificed his son. There was no one to stay his hand. He went through with it. A Christian looks at God sacrificing his son and says, "Now I know you love me, for you did not withhold your one and only son from me." That's the fuel for living faith, is to contemplate that every day. If you're down on yourself, if you're living destructively, then the reason for that is because you don't see God as friend. Now, that doesn't mean bad things aren't going to happen in your life, and sometimes you're going to feel disappointment with those bad things. But if this is an overall overarching ideal in your life where you're suddenly just faced with constantly feeling down and depressed and frustrated with people, you're not seeing God as friend. You're not seeing what he's done for you to prove his love to you. He extended the olive branch first to be your friend. The question is whether or not you're going to be a friend of God. And that's where you move into living faith. When you see him as a friend, you're not doing faith to get something. You're doing faith because you see how beautiful God is, how great and tremendous his love is for you. And doing your faith then becomes just as natural as breathing because it's alive. This is my prayer for all of us, church, that you will breathe faith. That your hands will do all of the things that God brings for you to do because you truly do love God and you couldn't help but do otherwise with your hands. And I don't know what that's going to look like for you as an individual, but I know for all of us as a church, it's to meet the needs we come into contact with, whatever they may be. And we can. Because God has supplied every gift that we need when we need it. Will you stand with me as we close in prayer this morning?